This is video number 66 for cello students, and in this video we're going to talk about common time, and we're also going to learn to play number 100, 101, and 102 in your book. You do need to have a pencil, so if you'll grab one of those real quick. The first thing I want you to do is look in your book right above number 100, and you should see where it says time signature. Also underneath it says meter in parentheses. That's just another term for time signature. To the right of that, you'll see this fancy looking C. And then it says that it stands for common time. Common time is the exact same thing as 4/4 time. 4/4 time is 4 beats in a measure, quarter note gets the beat. That is most often the time signature that we're playing in, right? That's why it's called common time. No matter how advanced you get, still, the majority of the songs that you will play will be in 4/4 time. So, why did they even have to do that? Why didn't they have to come up with common time? Well, back in the day, people actually had to write. There was no printer, there was no copy, there was nothing. They had to write it out. So it was a shortcut. It was a shortcut that was created. This was quicker than doing 4/4 on every single part, okay? So it just kind of stuck around. And you'll kind of see it reappear, and you'll see that the C, sometimes the composers will use a C, the publisher will use a C, sometimes they use a 4/4. Just kind of depends, but that C is going to show up again later on with a slash through it for something called a cut time that we'll learn at the end of book 2, okay? So that's all you really need to know about common time right now, is that the C means 4/4 time. That's all you got to know. There's nothing brand new about it, just a new way of thinking about it. Okay, so I'm coming up close here because I need you to write some things in your book, all right? So I'm going to go over it, but you probably at some point want to pause the video to make sure you get all this right. So on 100, what you need to do, first line, nothing. Second line, below the first note, write Roman numeral 2.5. Above it, write -4. We're going to do, that shift's not going to be easy. We're going to do it because I think you can. All right, so we're going to shift there. And then, oops, I skipped something. We're going to shift down right there. So I should have written a Roman numeral 1 right there. Above it, -1. And then below it, Roman numeral 1. On 101, all I need you to do is measure number the measures, okay? There are 6 in the first line, 6 in the second line. On 102, here's what I need you to do. Below the first note, Roman numeral 2.5, above it, 4. And if you want to write 4/2/4, that's fine with me. On this last note of the second measure, do you see how it says -0? You're going to shift during that open D. We're going to play that D differently than we play that D. We're going to do 4/2/4, 4/2 open D. And while you're playing the open D, you're shifting back down to first position. The rest of it is in first position. So now, if you need to pause the video to get that, check yourself. Pause it. Okay, at this point, you should have it correct. If you need to rewind and go back, please do so. We are not going to do any echoing with this, because I think at this point you probably know your G string notes pretty well, and hopefully you're pretty proficient at shifting on the G string as well. Let's start with 100 and with you shadow bowing. This one has a pattern, and the sooner you learn the pattern and recognize the pattern, the more quickly you will learn the song. All right, shadow bow 100, of course it's in G major. Only Fs are sharp. 1, 2, shadow bow, and go. Shift up right here, go to D. And go. Now you're going to shift down here. 1 take, 2 take, 3 take, 4 take, up. So the hardest shift is the shift up at the beginning of the second line. Do this for me. Play the B at the end of the first line, and then the D at the beginning of the second line. So we're going to go B, then shift, D. Try that. You're going to play half notes, okay? Then shift up, and go. B, shift, D. Try that again. Slide the 3, add the 4, and go. B, shift, D. So you're going to slide up and then add the 4. It's a different kind of shift than you've done before. I really think you can do it though. All right, now you might want to stop and practice that part there. The shifting part, it's going to be the hard part. Now play it with me if you're ready. 1, 2, beginning, and go. about that shift. It's coming up. Now I'm thinking about the shift, and now I move. One take, two take, three take, four take, off. Okay? Pause and practice as much as you need. All right? Now, this next song, it's not really that difficult, but there's a tricky spot in it, okay? I want you to find measure 5 and 6. Now look at the notes. They just go D, C, B, A, down the G major scale. And look at the rhythm. Run, pony, run, pony, half note. Now look at the second line. Measure 7 and 8. Okay, the first two measures of the second line are measure 7 and 8 of the song. And it also goes D, C, B, A, down the G major scale. But look what it does with its rhythm. It goes run, pony, run. That's the tricky part. Run, pony, run, pony, half note. Play measure 5 and 6 first. Okay, measure 5 and 6, echo me. And go D, 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 C, 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 B, 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 A. Now play 7 and 8. Run, pony, run. Okay, echo. And go D, 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 C, 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 B, 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 A. All right, now we're going to shadow roll from the beginning. You might need to, maybe you're not ready, maybe you need to play 7 and 8 a few more times. Pause if you need to. Shadow roll. 1, 2, ready, and go. Make sure these half notes get to full beats. Run, pony, half note. Now careful. Run, pony, run. Slow go. If you need to practice it on your own first before trying to join me, please do so. If you're ready to join me, let's go. 1, 2, ready, and go. Make sure the half notes get full beats. 2 full beats. 3 take, 4 take. Run, pony, run. Half note. Run, pony, run. Pause and practice that as much as needed. We're going to move on to number 102 now. Now, we're just going to do the first 2 measures first, okay? I want you starting in second half position, right up here. And you're going to play like this. D, D, B, D. And then, while you play the second half note D, you're shifting down. See that? You're going to go 4, 2, 4, 4, 2, open D and shift down. Try just that. Echo me this time. Then open D here and go. 4, 1, 4, 4, 1, open D. And I apologize. I think I said 4, 2, 4 a while ago. That's the fingering for the violin and viola part. I apologize. 4, 1, okay? 4th finger for the D and 1st finger for the B. 4, 1, 4, 4, 1, open D, okay? Now, the next place people mess up is the end of the first line getting into the second line. So let's practice that first. I want you to start at the last measure of the first line. You should be looking at an A. I want you to play that measure plus 1 note only. So you're going to end up on a D, okay? Echo me when I tell you to. Again, that's the last measure of the first line. Try that again, plus one note. And ready, say, and go. A, B, C, B, C, D. Now let's try shadow bowing, the whole thing. Put those pieces together with shadow bowing, and then we'll try playing. Shadow bow. 4, 1, 4, 1. Whoops, turn this back on. 1, 2, shadow bow, and go. Okay, you might need to practice that before you try to join me now. Not uncommon. These songs are a little bit more difficult than what you've been doing. Okay, when you're ready, join me playing, starting in second half position. 1, 2, ready, and go. Now shift while you're playing open D. Now your first position for the rest of the song. Practice what you need from this video. Once you can play these 3 songs, you'll be pretty proficient on playing on your G string. It's going to come up again in a later video when we're going to be doing some more with G string. You don't want it to just lose it, okay? You got to make sure you occasionally keep practicing on your G string so you don't forget what you've just learned.